You introduced a feature where salespeople can practice. There's no score, there's no pressure, just feedback and hints. How do the hints work?
Some of the organizations are very top down and saying we must certify all of our people on X. And some of the organizations or people or use cases are much more bottom up, saying, okay, I know that I don't know that. I'm not an expert on that. And not many salespeople are ready to say that because we're all experts on everything once we go into sales, right? And then they want to practice as part of that. They don't want the score. They don't want this to be shared with anyone. And they don't want to restart the practice and go over and over again the same thing. So having that kind of hints that you can click a button and it will say, okay, you did not cover this. This was asked and you did not answer it. This is something that you should make sure to cover in a conversation, right? You're getting close to the end. You have only 5 more minutes. Make sure you look into the action items and respond to this question that Laura asked. I think that type of interaction is very effective for people and it takes the edge off. And sometimes it's combined. So you do like 5 different times with this hints kind of practice mode, and then you go into your certification or QBR, or just go on a sales call when your VP of sales stands in the background in silence and looks at you, right? So it brings that confidence and competence into the play. What we're seeing more than anything else right now is the ability to create a real good foundation of data that makes any interaction, whether it's coaching, whether it's role play, whether it's a practice mode, whether it's certification, really to the point. So when we started, you had to craft every role play and do it, and there was like an expert to do it and blah, 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 blah. And then we've created an AI agent that helps you create those role plays. And now we have an AI agent who's like a curriculum expert that have seen the best practices from all of the companies that we work with. And you can upload all your materials or connect them from wherever you're hosting them. And it would recommend a program for you. And it would say, okay, if you're building right now, say an onboarding program, and you want to cover all of your 7 different products, 3 different competitors, 6 different sales stages, here's how I would recommend phasing it out into 20 different role plays. Here's how you divide them and what you do in week 1, week 2, week 3. And this is how you'll get to this proficiency level that you need to get to with a role play. So we're not replacing the sales enablement. This is their expertise, but we are an expert in training and learning and practice with AI. And this is our suggestion for implementation. And obviously each company can use it in their own way, but it really creates a structure, and being able to build this entire program in a matter of minutes is very unique.
Is it possible for you to create an agent-to-agent role play where the agents do the role play and you set the level of difficulty and say, I want the customer come up with like 7 objections, price and stalls and technology or whatever, and then have the agent role play to a higher level of difficulty so that salespeople just can watch what best practices look like?
We use similar processes when we're optimizing the results itself. So we can play both parts, obviously, and we can do that. So far, people have preferred watching live calls versus role plays and different levels of difficulty and practice themselves with AI, but everything is possible. I think that in another use case that we've heard is companies that develop their own AI for replacing some of the sales stages, say the initial inquiries or just a qualification and whatnot, and want us to test their AI agent. So we would be the more customers, but instead of training, coaching, certifying a human, we would be doing the same process for AI, right? And we can do that as a third party who's not the same platform that builds your AI agents, right? Because if you're contracted with one company that does AI agents, you don't want them to also test how well they did the job. So that's where we've been hearing requests of that sort as well.
What else is new that we need to know about?
Right now, what I find that people are really looking for is how can they take all of these AI tools that they have, and they have a little bit of Claude here, and they have some other platform there, and they have this role play there, and how do they kind of orchestrate all of that into increase sales productivity, because they don't care as much about the tools as much as they care about how can we raise the quota 2x, 4x, 5x, 10x, whatever, and keep the same amount of reps and keep them productive. And what are the limiting factors of getting there, right? So I think that that's what I've been hearing from prospects and customers. And us as an industry, not just second nature, is we have to work together with different vendors. So integrations, data sharing, MCPs, APIs, all of that data connectivity layer is key. Then saying, okay, now I'm investing a lot of time of my sellers and I want to give them the best experience and I want to have the best AI role play or AI coaching tools, because the major investment is the time of my sellers. I want to make sure that I capitalize on that. So integrations, using the right tools in the right places, and then based on that, really kind of personalizing and coaching the reps along the way. And I think that's where we see the most of the focus right now.
Well, Ariel, congratulations on your success. You have done a tremendous amount over the last 6 years. It shows that you're innovative, open to new ideas, and always focused on helping the customer win.
Absolutely. And I appreciate the opportunity of catching up and seeing you again and having this chat. And thank you so much.